Okay, guys, today we're going to look at a ruler again, except today we're going to start looking at half inches and on the inch, on the half inch, and when things might not even, they may be close to that. Remember yesterday we talked about how a ruler is simply a number line. Exactly. And when we measure, we're going to notice that when we have inches, that sometimes an object may already be past that inch. And so we're going to look to see if it's closest. We're only going to measure in second grade by inches and half inches. So it's either going to be 1 inch or 1.5, 2 inches or 2.5, 3 inches or 3.5. And when we measure, let's look at this one right here, and I'm going to show you what I mean. When we look, we see here are our inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and you know that. You're going to see tick marks, and we know that tick marks are the same thing that's on a number line. We're going to see that there are tick marks. Now, sometimes on rulers that you see, there'll only be one right in the middle. If there's a tick mark right in the middle, like this, right here, and you can actually see this one's a little bit longer than the one. The one in the very middle is a little bit longer. That is going to be the half-inch line. So this is 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inches, 2.5, 3 inches, 3.5, 4 inches, 4.5, 5 inches, 5.5, 6 inches, 6.5. Now, you're going to notice there are other lines as well on this one. We can see that from 1 to 2 there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 lines going from 1 to 2. So that means they have divided this inch into 4 equal parts, and that's called fourths, right? We learned that when we did fractions. Do you see we talked about, remember Mr. Mandanisi taught us that math is just a puzzle. And if you think of other things, it's going to help you out. So there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to talk about today that's going to help you with this. One of them is fractions, because we're going to see that these are fourths. So this would actually be 1. This line here would be 1/4. We're not too worried about that, because in second grade we're only worried about inches and half inches. But I'm going to show you why you need to pay attention to it in just a minute. We know also that when we're telling time, the hour hand continues to travel on to the next number, right? We don't ever go backwards. That's kind of what we're going to do in measurement too. We're going to do the same thing. So I want to show you what I'm talking about when I do this rod right here. We're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. Start where the rod starts, and this rod actually starts at 0. Woo woo. Where the ruler starts. Woo woo. Yay. So then we're ready to go to the end, and I'm going to see it's right here. There's where it ends. Now, I know that it's already gone past the 6. It's already gone past the 6.5. So I'm going to say this rod is closest to 7 inches. I'm not going to go back, okay? I'm going to go forward. So this rod is actually about, because it's not right on it, we're estimating, it is about 7 inches. You see that? That's what we're going to use. So we're going to have to think about what we know in fractions. We're going to have to think about what we know with clock, what we know with the number line, and you can do it. I know you're not going to have any trouble. So you have your iPad, and I want you to go to the next page on your iPad. Should look just like this. Should look just like this. Now, because we're going to measure with inches and half inches, I've got a new strategy for you. When I want for you, if half inches are shown, I want you to mark those. I'm going to go back to black because you will have a pencil. So I can see here's a half inch, here's an inch 1.5 inches, 2 inches. What would this be?
2.5 inches.
2.5 inches. What would it be?
2.5 inches.
Here's 3. This would be
3.5
inches. Here's 4. This would be
4.5
inches. 5. 5.5 inches, 6, 6.5 inches, 7, 7.5 inches, 8. I can go ahead and stop because my object isn't going any further than that. I'm going to go back and use my strategies. Going to start. It actually starts when the ruler starts at 0. Woohoo! Going to go find out where the ruler ends. And we see that it ends right here. Now, remember what I said. We're going to continue on. Like the clock is a number line and continues on. Are we going to go back to the 7?
No.
Can we go to a half inch? Is there a half inch in front of it? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we're not going to go all the way to the 8 because there's a half inch present right here. So we can say this rod is about 7.5 inches. It's about 7.5 inches. You see what you're doing? You see your strategy to go ahead and make those half inches darker. Got it? Let's try one more, and then I'll let you practice with a partner. Here we go. Here's this one. We've got a rod. Our first strategy is we're going to mark our what?
Half inches.
We're going to mark our,
Half inches.
there we go. Here we go. I'm going to mark our half inches. Here's a half, halfway. 1, halfway between 1 and 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Do I need to go further?
No.
No, our rod has stopped. I don't need to go any further. Gonna go back. Our rod actually starts where the ruler starts. Woo woo. Then we're going to take it to the end and we're going to see it ends right here. I notice it ends on one of my half marks. Because I've marked that half inch heavily with my pencil, I can see. Now, it has just gone past the what, guys? 5. So this rod would be how long?
5.5 inches.
5.5 inches, absolutely. Let me see if I have one on here with a broken ruler real quickly, and we'll do it and see.
We do.
I do. Go ahead and go on over to slide, tell me what it is.
5.
Thank you. Go on over to slide 5. Let's check out slide 5. I want you to tell me what we're going to do. What are we going to do first? What's our first strategy?
Mark the markers.
Mark the half inches, exactly. Darken those half inches. I'm going to darken these half inches. What is 2.5? This one is?
3.5.
This one is? This one's? This one a half? Can I quit?
No.
No. Here we go. Ready? 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. Can I quit?
Yes.
Yes, my object has ended. I can quit. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go back and find where it starts. This time it does not begin where the ruler begins. Our object begins on what?
3.
3 inches. Begins on 3 inches. I'm going to go check the end, and it's right here, and I notice it's on a half inch. Remember our strategy from yesterday. Now I'm going to begin to count those inches. From 3 to 4 is 1. Thank you for helping me. From 4 to 5 is
2.
From 5 to 6 is
3.
From 6 to 7 is
4.
From 7 to 8 is
5.
From 8 to 9 is
6.
Can I go from 9 to 10?
No.
No. Is it on a half inch?
Yes.
So we stopped and we had just written 6, and then I know I'm only going 1/2 more. I'm going to go ahead and go the 1/2. So I know that this rod is how long, everybody?
6.5 inches.
Beautiful. 6.5 inches. If you will use these strategies, you won't go wrong, and I know you'll use them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This